So this will be my Dracotail K9 deck list. And so, of course, we're first going to start with engine. So 1 K2 because it's at limited. You usually run max K2. Max K2 is 1. So 1 K2, 3 Reihu, Branded Fusion is good. Three of the traps. I like to run 3 traps for each matchup, and if one of the traps get interrupted, I can still continue the trap recycle loop by having 3. If I have only 2 traps, then they can't recycle loop if interrupted. 3 traps ensure that the recycle loop stays the same. 1 Frixel for... because it's just another Dracotail name that can also recur and provide another fusion material. 3 Mululu, starter. 3 Lucius, a starter. 3 Phimina, turn 0 plays, as well as, well, the main way to fusion summon. One Urgula and 2 Pan. Now this is entirely your choice on the ratios of Urgula and Pan, because they are hard bricks. Yes, they are. But if you have a way to fusion summon, then you can take advantage of their used fusion material effects. I run 2 Pan instead of 2 Urgula because I like having the ability to pop monsters more than spells or traps, because in my locals there aren't really any back row players, so monster removal is more generic. But honestly, I would really like to main deck Phantazmay instead of this one Dracotail Pan. So this pan might become a Phantazmay main deck. This could very well be a main deck Phantazmay, because I do like main decking Phantazmay, but it's situational. But I would personally run Phantazmay instead of the second pan. Now that's it for the Dracotail core. Now for the K9 engine, of course, 2 Izuna because Izuna is at 2. 1 Lupus. 1 Jokel because Jokel is at 1. 2 Lantern. 1 Release Restraint because I still haven't yet bought the Force Release, but honestly, I think I like Release Restraint more. And that's because Werewolf can OTK using Release Restraint. So for example, your Ripper and Lupus become Izuna, and Izuna just search Release Restraint, Izuna attack for 23, and then Release Restraint, target Izuna to rank up into Werewolf, Werewolf attack 3 times, that's game on an empty board. So I honestly like Release Restraint a lot because you can use it in any phase, meaning you can use it in battle phase, or if the opponent tries to get rid of your rank 5 monsters in the anywhere except the main phase. Anywhere, I mean in any phase, yeah. But also this, you can use this on any rank 5 monster you control. So that is very versatile, and I honestly like this versatility more than the ability to pop a card, in my opinion. And then 2Ks for K9 for consistency. For the suite of non-engine, just the usual. 2 Called By, 2 Maxi. I only have 1 Nibiru. I would honestly run more Nibiru if I had more Nibiru. 3 Ash, of course, to counter the Maxi, or just... It hits every deck. Ash hits every deck. For sure. 1 Veiler, 1 Ghost Ogre. Now, this is debatable, but since Dracotail would like to use monster hand traps, I could these are the only other monster hand traps that I have, Effect Veiler and Ghost Ogre, so I'm gonna use them since I have no other choice. And Poly. Poly is just you never complain about having Poly in your hand unless you have no other monsters. Poly is just a good job because the Dracotail fusions are fairly generic. Now, honestly, I could also swap out this Poly for this Phantazmay, but again, actually, if you get rid of Poly, that's one less way to perform a fusion summon. And sometimes you brick on having Dracotail monsters with no way to have fusion access, so Poly is just good way if you're just Poly saves bricks. If you brick on like the big Dracotail monsters and any hand trap, you can just raw Poly to go combo, because that's Poly plus any Dracotail monster and any hand trap, that's full combo. So Poly just really comes in clutch in situations like that. Now, for the extra deck, we are running three Arthalion, because of course Arthalion is the best fusion. It provides extension, it provides bouncing removal, and also it can recycle Max C as well as your Dracotail monsters. Now Boral Sword, this is a more of a locals meta thing. I have Boral Sword in the deck because my locals has multiple Lunalight players, like around 3 Lunalight players, and I organically have no way to out Lunalight the Lunalight tower without this Boral Sword. Since I run no Kaijus in the main deck, Boral Sword is the only way for me to theoretically out a Lunalight tower. So that's why the Boral Sword is in the deck. And you might be asking why I'm running Boral Sword instead of Access Code Talker. That's because, well, Boral Sword is my only Link monster. I don't have the Spirit with Eyes of Blue or Heraldic Seal, or Hieratic Seal. So really, Boral Sword is more generically available instead of Access Code, since I have no extra Link monsters for Link rating attack boost. And Boral Sword is just good defensively and good offensively. Cannot be destroyed by battle, and if made with IP Masquerena, then cannot be destroyed by card effects. I will buy IP Masquerena soon. Yes, I will. And Boral Sword, just good defensive. It can switch opponent's monsters to defense, or any monsters to defense to attack twice, or defensively, spell speed for defense switch. It can gain the attack of the opponent's towers to beat over the towers. So this is always good to out towers. I love this card. It's good to out towers. Especially since my bro uses Raid Raptor. This hits Raid Raptor. Just to out the Raid Raptor cards, yeah, I will run Boral Sword. Of course I will, yeah. So 3 Arthalion and 1 Boral Sword. Then 2 Gulamel. I was using 3 Gulamel before, but I swapped out one of the Gulamels for Boral Sword for removal's sake. 1 Secretarion Dragon and 1 Mysterion. Secretarion is good for the mirror match and good for recursion. Very good for long grind games since it specials from grave. Mysterion is good sometimes, I think. It hasn't come up for me yet, but Mysterion should hit most decks. It's a board wipe. It board wipes a specific type of It board wipe banishes a single type, and it hits some decks. The first thing that comes to mind is Sword Soul, because they use all worms, or Yummy, since they're all beasts. Next, Zeus, because we're using K9 package. Now, actually, yeah, here is our K9 package. 1 K9 Jax, 1 Charmly Vimana for negate, 2 Valon, the Super Size Sky Blaster, 1 Ripper, and 1 Werewolf. Now, that's just all the Xyz monsters that we have. Ripper is, well, the entire engine access. Jax is a pop. Chronomly Vimana is a negate that can theoretically recycle its negate if you have 2 Xyz monsters in the graveyard, which might not be all the time, but in grind games that could come up. Werewolf hits for game multiple times now. Werewolf has finished games for me. And Werewolf is just good interruption. It's Cheng Ying. It banishes non-target an opponent's card in the graveyard and on their field, or it looks at their hand and banishes the card from it until the end phase. Both are very good effects. And yeah, it does finish off games relatively easily, thanks to Release Restraint. 2 Valon. Book of Moon is good, especially if it's searchable. And Valon also serves as a pop if it goes to grave. That's also good removal. Jax is a monster pop, negate that can recycle itself. And Zeus, well, Zeus is Zeus. It board wipes. Can never go wrong with a board wipe. Now for the extra deck, for the side deck, 1 Phantazmay. Again, Phantazmay could very well be in my main deck. 1 Imperm. No, actually, 2 Imperm. Because, again, I have no other monster hand traps. If I did have any other monster hand traps, they would be here. They would be in my main deck, actually, if I had any other monster hand traps. Now, remember when I said there's a lot of Moonlight players in my locals, as well as my bro being a Raid Raptor player? Well, here's the Kaiju. It's the only Kaiju I have, Juzukiru, because it comes from the Cyber Dragon Tactical Tri-Deck. 1 Droplet for going second, but this is not really the best board breaker for this deck since you have to send cards. So, and the problem with Dracotail is that it's 1.5 card combos, so this gets rid of a lot of your options in hand. 1 Thrust, since I only have 1 Thrust right now. Thrust is good going second and first. You can set one of the traps that you're missing going first, or you can go to triple attack or any of your other power spells going second. Like you can Thrust for K2, and then K2 will search and then poly to board break. This is just very good for the side deck. 3 Triple Tactics Thrust. It's a good going second and going first card, but I would never main deck it. 1 Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, and Roigeki for going... Wait, and also Red Reboot for going second, and then 1 Solemn for going first. Now, that's it for the entire deck. Let me try and test a few combos here. Again, I'm thinking hard on this Phantazmay about my local situation. If Phantazmay is worth it in the main deck. And honestly, I think I would run Phantazmay instead of 2 Pan. 1 Pan and 1 Phantazmay would be good enough for me. But I will not do that right now. I'll just put it in the side deck for now. Now let's shuffle up and play. 1, I'm going to shuffle. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assuming the opponent has no hand traps, 1 Pan, Phymina and Lucius. That's full combo actually. Normal Lucius. Since we already have Phymina access, we're just gonna search Mululu. Mululu is fine. Search Mululu. We can just activate Raw Phymina effect to Poly. We're gonna fuse well, any monster. This hand was pretty good. We opened all monster cards, but assuming we only have one monster card, we're just gonna use... But well, since we have Mululu access, let's just use Mululu or Pan. But I'm gonna save the Pan for the opponent's turn. We're gonna fuse the Mululu and Lucius to summon Arthalion. Arthalion chain link 1 to target Phymina in the graveyard to bounce it to hand. Then we're gonna chain block, chain link 2 Mululu to set from deck, and chain link 3 Lucius to set from deck. Lucius will set first. You set YGO Dracotail. Mulu will set second. I don't think we need K2 Dracotail right now. So we're just going to set one of the trap cards. Dracotail Horn is usually the most versatile one. And then Arthalion will add back the Phymina, since that was the target. Now, we can activate YGO Dracotail. We're going to fuse the Phymina, as well as Dracotail Urgula. Dracotail Urgula. To fuse a Dracotail fusion, it will be Dracotail Gulamel. Now, Gulamel has no effects right now, but we used Phymina and Urgula as material, so we can activate as chain link 1 Urgula, chain link 2 Phymina to set from deck. We can set Dracotail Sting as well as Dracotail Horn. Face down. Then we're going to activate the graveyard effect of Urgula, targeting Phymina to bounce Phymina to hand, and Urgula will go to the bottom of the deck. Now this combo plays around Nibiru, of course. It's fairly simple. You only did 3 summons. But we have the trap cards on the field, as well as Phymina to summon Arthalion again, or to summon Secretarion to Floodgate, or Mysterion to board wipe. And then we can draw into 3 unknowns. So for example, it's the opponent's turn now. They do something that you want to interrupt. So say they normal summon their starter. What you can do is activate Horn to target their monster and bounce it. Then you can bounce the YGO Dracotail back and draw an unknown. In this case, it's Ash, so it's more interruption. Now, for example, if you want to negate an opponent's spell effect or banish their cards as well as pop their card, you can do this. Flame to negate, chain link 1, then chain link 2 Gulmel to pop. Flame will place, a Gulmel will pop, then Flame will place on the bottom and draw 1. In this case, it's Ash. So, not any other interruption. Then we can Sting